As we continue with our legislative wrap-up, let's not forget this year was dubbed the education session, and sure enough, lawmakers debated back and forth on many education issues, including school funding, State Board of Education governance, and testing. To explain all of the approved legislative changes and how they will affect classrooms, State Impact Indiana's Claire McInerney brings us this recap.
It was a budget session for the General Assembly, meaning money dominated much of the conversation around education. The most important of those discussions was how the state will fund schools. The state uses a formula to decide how much money each district receives, and legislators decided this was the time to revamp that formula. They put more money than ever into the school funding system, but changed how it's distributed, leaving many urban schools with lots of poor kids facing a decrease in funds. Also in the budget is a $10 million boost for charter schools. This was a legislative priority for Governor Pence, who originally asked for $40 million. Pence's reasoning was that although charters receive state funding, they don't have access to property taxes like traditional public schools.
We build a more solid, firm foundation under our public charter schools, and will make it more possible for more communities to consider public charter schools as an option in their community.
Other things included in the budget: a $100 tax credit for teachers to reimburse for school supplies bought with personal money, and a doubling of money schools receive for English language learners. The cap on vouchers for low-income kids to pay private school tuition was also removed. Another education issue that dominated the session: the makeup and duties of the State Board of Education. Both Republicans and Democrats agreed something had to be changed after months of dysfunction on the board. Lawmakers approved the idea of removing the state superintendent as chair of the board, but not until the end of current state superintendent Glenda Ritz's term in January 2017. After that, the board will elect a chair annually from among its ranks, something that upset Democrats.
Folks, this is not a compromise. This is a blatant political power grab that slaps the face of Hoosier voters, and I'm asking you to vote no.
People in this chamber took the time to try and listen to people, to work with people, and come up with a result that was at least something that people could tolerate and would not be the overreach that people were once saying that it would be.
The governor will no longer appoint all the members of the state board. Currently, of the 11 members, he appoints 10, with the state superintendent being elected. But under the new rules, he will only have 8 appointments, and the House Speaker and President pro tem of the Senate each will have 1. This change goes into effect June 1st, and it sounds like we could see some new faces on the board as early as this summer.
The governor may choose to appoint some of the same people, he may not. I'll be choosing my person. I've got some people in mind.
I have a couple of people in mind that I've been working with on education issues this year that would be invaluable if they would be willing to take the time to accept that role. So I'm going to speak with them first and just think about that one just a little bit.
All of these legislative changes disappointed Ritz, who told media as a result she is considering leaving her post as superintendent to run for governor in 2016.
Well, after this session, there's absolutely nothing off the table. The first priority is getting through this school year. We're in the midst of testing, getting all that done. But after that, I'm going to sit down with my family and determine what is best for the children and the families in Indiana. And I'll give you more information about that in June.
Although all of these bills have passed through both sides of the legislature, they still need to be signed by Governor Pence.
Governor Pence says he plans to closely examine all of the education bills on his desk, especially Senate Bill 1. He hasn't said for sure whether he'll sign them into law.